Hey everyone, happy Friday. Welcome to the stream. Let me know again if, as always, if the audio is kind of funky or anything like that. If the music's too loud, again, let me know. I don't stream that often, so that's always one thing that I'm always hesitant on doing these kinds of things. Today, we are going to be opening not one, but literally boxes and boxes of BT11. It's going to be a heck of a day because it's kind of been a long day already, but I'm super excited. So first of all, as usual, if the gold card gets hit, enunciation is hard today. If the gold card gets hit, the stream ends. So with that in mind, let's just go ahead and begin because there's a lot of packs to open. I hope all of you have been having the opportunity to open your own packs as well and kind of enjoying, you know, some of the new things. For me personally, I really enjoy some of the common, uncommon foils because I've never had a fully blinged out shiny deck, especially in this game. So that's one thing that, you know, I'm happy about. Big chill. Gold cards. What gold cards are you looking for? You know me, I'm the playset collector, so I want 4 of every card. I already have all my pre-release cards set up for BT11. That means that come BT12, which is just in a short 2 months, I'll already be ready there. Still feels weird not to have, literally any box toppers in the box. So, yeah, we're just gonna chuck that out of here. Good times. All right. Anywho, I'm still a fan of using the scissors, so I will be opening packs today with the scissor method, mainly because I don't like opening the packs with the tab or through the back, because I've noticed that I usually get more whitening, and that is something I just absolutely hate. So, usually I would go through these packs one by one. I'm sure you guys have already seen a lot of these box openings, so I think for these episodes, we'll do the standard typical flip and just reveal. So, nothing really else here to really talk about. So we're just going to keep going. And I'm not sleeving that rare. We already have enough rares because we've already opened basically the equivalent of 1 case. So at this point, I'm just sleeving the commons, uncommons, and then going from there. You just went ahead to beat EX4? Crazy. Best card in mine was a Mirai and a Rena. The Rena is still pretty good, though. The Rena is still a pretty good card. So we're going to go ahead and go Hercules Kabuterimon. Oh, right off the bat. Right off the bat. Alt Art Angelomon. That is the first one that I have pulled for the collection. So that is right off the bat going in. And there we go. Off these go to No Man's Land. And I'm missing the one Alt Ulforce. Otherwise, for golds, I really want the Machindra. The Machindramon really is pretty, and I really enjoy it too. So again, I have noticed a weird thing where it feels like literally every time you pull one alt art, the other one is like right behind it. Oh, look. Oh, look. Oh, look. Well, so this first box, do we want to just skip this box because I already hit both alt arts? Is that something that we do? Okay. I guess we keep rolling. This is a really good box already. What the Angelomon is literally, oh, what, $35. War Greymon is Black War Greymon, I should say, is up there as well. Heck yeah, I want more of these too. So yeah. So the top card, my dear, will be cool. I could get the gold potentially. Question is, will it be in this box? Because if it's in this box is cracked. So we got an egg. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and hide that Excel source because it is something that is literally in the worst spot. So we're just going to leave it up there so you can see chat. Fix that for you. And yeah, we got an Alt Doraemon right off there too. I'm not a fan personally of the campaign rares being in the set because it just doesn't feel great every time. And also, per the usual, I will be going to take a break in between each box to kind of record what all I've pulled, including the alt arts, to give a better idea of what statistically is likely going to get hit. Well, not likely going to get hit, but you get the point. Lady Debbie and Eosmon. Are you going to collect the 50 EOS Mons? I'm almost certain that is also my third or fourth Black War Greymon. There is a lot of shiny in this pack. King Suka and a Zephyr. Zephyr is one of the most common campaign rares that I found so far. I'm indifferent. I kind of like it and I kind of don't, Big Chill. I do think that the foiling of rare, uncommons and commons is nice. But it does hurt the overall... Because for me this time, it took me 4 to 6 boxes to really get a playset of anything. Veggie. And Taiki. Big shout out and applause to my wife. She's literally hammering out all the polls right now and basically sorting them for me as I open these. So it's definitely a big help to me. And helps me also open more packs on stream. Tekka and Meme. Nothing here. You know, I'll go ahead and sleeve these if you want. Okay.
Nope.
Okay. And today we are on a judge mat. I am definitely a collector at heart. I love collecting, you know, items like these. I definitely like this Terriermon mat. Ooh, a Toko. And a HPD. We've already knocked out all the campaign rares. And that Tokomon is basically close to finishing my set. I'm really excited. Not going to lie, I'm really excited to have basically all foil common uncommons together into a single binder. Because I plan on loading all the regular common uncommons first. And then afterwards doing all foils. So it's going to start with that Yokomon. And everything after that, it's just going to be shiny. I do think they could have probably done... They could have executed it a little differently. I think the execution was the issue. Mock Galgamon uncommon. And a Nikolai Petrov. But no, I hope everyone is excited for Nationals. I hope, you know, everyone's already prepped and ready to go. You know, with these two cards, really, we're already just looking at our SRs. Because we've already hit all 4 campaign rares. We've hit both alt arts. No secret for this box. Arena is going to be one of those hard ones to find again. We hit our first regular SR in the form of a Bagramon. You know what? It's okay. I'm going to guess at some point in this box there's going to be a Mervamon. Mervamon seems to be prevalently always with this boy. Hey, DL Scrub, thank you for joining the stream. And also thank you again, everyone. Big Chill, Boba Kitty, Dork Ladius, Nico Brando, Josh Hepner for joining the stream. Digi-Watch TCG as well. Thank you, thank you. Digitama and Tuormon. I hope all of you are enjoying the stream so far. Devimon, oh, I think that's my second one. I'm actually really happy with that pack. You know, people will hate some of these foil uncommons, but I love some of them. I just wish it was in another slot. Nat's looking kind of snooze already with how many Black War Greymon X there's going to be. There is definitely going to be a lot of Black War Greymon X. And in playtesting, there's only a select handful of decks that can really beat it. Bergermon, and not Bergermon is going to beat Black War Greymon X. I mean, you could try. Hades Force for the cards pulled. I'm more curious what decks people will be playing, and at the same time, what matchups you'll see. Because if there's a lot of Black War Greymon X mirrors, it's going to be a game of chicken. Ooh, Gigadramon. Yes, I think that's my second one. I'm okay with that, too. I'm definitely excited to see some of you there. If you are going to Nationals, I'm definitely going to enjoy, you know, seeing all the different deck profiles out there, because that's one of the favorite things that I like doing as a commentator. It's to kind of see all the different matchups and try to find really creative matches for you to enjoy. Yeah, I was thinking SecCon could also be out there too. The other funny thing is Taiga, and we had an Ulforce. The other thing that I thought was surprising, and someone mentioned this to me, DL Scrub actually, credit to you for this, the White Tamer and execution of Emergency Program Shutdown. That's going to be one of the biggest things that, you know, is it going to be more playable against a Black War Greymon X deck, for the fact that if they want to play Hades Force, they can't now. Also, you have to keep in mind, with Emergency Program Shutdown, it also stops them from using their option cards like X Antibody. Yeah, Sunamon and a Biomon. Melga X will definitely also be interesting too. Metal Gray X and the Mervamon. I told you there was going to be a Mervamon in this. I knew it. I knew there'd be one. Now, the funny thing is this. If this were a box that were used for like a pre-release event, I have so far hit 3 out of my possible 6 SRs, which means that out of the last 4 packs, I still have 3 SRs to hit. Hey, Noimad, thanks for joining the stream. Tarek, Stewart Rodriguez, thank you for joining too. Is this going to be a rare? No, I think this is the SR, because if the rare is on the front, Angelomon is going to indicate that this is an SR hit. We get a Marsmon. Will Sukamon top 16 at Nats? I've played the variations of you know, Sukamon with purple, black, yellow. It just feels super inconsistent to me still. I don't like the deck. This is our last rare pack. We got Fusion Eyes, and then we also got a Rust Tyrannomon. There are a few decks that I'm looking into right now just for the memes, because post-Nationals, I don't know really where the format is going to go, because what will people really play for at this point? I mean, there is also the Ultimate Cup coming up in March, I believe. Beaver Warrior best deck. Of course, absolutely. I agree. Destromon and Phoenix. Can we walk away with a Mirai? A Mirai or a Black War Greymon X for this box would be really big. If not, really, I don't want the Digimon. I've seen so many Digimons. That's the thing. I really don't think Sukamon is consistent. We got Zeke, and we finish it up with the Black War Greymon. Perfect. Perfect box. Really good box here. So, I really... Some of the art also feels nice for this deck, but I also don't like it. I don't like the Yuya in this art particularly. I think it kind of feels cheap. I'm focusing on X7 for this. Oh, sorry. Cross 7. I should not call it X7. I'm just reading it as it is. Cross 7 for this art because they murdered my BT10 Cross too quickly. They did. If you look at kind of what Black War Greymon X does, I feel like what they should be doing is also limiting the things that it can do. Keep in mind, with Greymon X, the main thing here is you can have a 1-cost Evo in a Metal Greymon next format in BT12 with the new BT12 Metal Greymon. And I think that's huge. All right, we are now in the recording portion of the stream. So we got 1 Phoenix, 1 Mars, No Shout, 1 Ulforce, Black War Grey X. We got a Merva Bagra, and nothing else there. For our campaign rares, we got Hidden Potential Discovered. We got the Eos, Dory, and Zephyr. Dory and Zephyr are going to be 2 of the most common campaign rares. They're actually the best ones in my opinion. Other than Hidden Potential Discovered, and challenge me on that one if you want to. I also really like the artwork too. That's another thing I liked as well. And this box came out to a whopping estimated $114, so pretty nice. All right. Box number 2. Let's go. I really don't see them doing any limits, though. That's the thing. Like, I want Greymon X to get hit. I want them to hit it. I think it's a very powerful effect. Its protection isn't the main thing that I'm like, this is annoying. The main thing for me is that the fact that you can cheaply reduce Digivolution costs by 2. So the more powerful effects like Metal Greymon from BT8, for example, that cheating it to a 2 seems a little harsh. That was the big thing for me that I didn't like. I love Greymon, don't get me wrong. Like, as a player and as a Digimon fan, I've always loved Greymon related cards. Yogamon and Metal Greymon X. But the problem is, for me also, I want a game that's balanced. So if you introduce Greymon support that does really stupid combos, like a free push-up from Raise with 2 memory gives you literally all the memory in the world to go basically in your combo. Cross 4 was pretty bad. Fogger's back. Back again. The problem with Cross 4 was the fact that in a format where you're heavily denoted to swing in with Cross 4, and everyone's playing Cross Heart, I think the big issue was that it almost guaranteed that your Cross Heart Digimon was going to survive, which meant that you could pop Cross 4 to unsuspend a Tamer and put all the stuff that was underneath it underneath the Tamer. So that recyclability is what made it really, really busted. But if you look at later formats where you're less Tamer heavy, that's where it doesn't matter as much, with Cross 4 being unlimited, because of the fact that if it swings into security and dies, you lose value. The biggest issue, though, is with the combination of Darulumon and the fact that it's 8,000 DP, you need to hit Digimon that are at minimum 11,000 DP to kill it. Or an option card that doesn't. I hate Greymon and all other mainline Digimons outside of Toga. Toga is great. I mean, I don't mind all the mainline Digimon. I just wish they all had equal support. Like, the fact that if you had a purple-blue line for Gabumon, like the equivalent for Agumon with black, the question then becomes, do you think Greymon would be as busted, or do you think, you know, the Gabumon, Garurumon in purple would be really, really bad? You know? I really like Greymon. It was one of my favorite Digimon growing up. It still is one of my favorite Digimon growing up. What am I saying growing up? I'm freaking old. And that's why I like doing what if episodes. They might not be like the best content that comes out on the channel, but it's something that I love to do for the fact that I want to bring forth the possibility of really fun concepts. I think a lot of you will enjoy what's coming up this Wednesday for the fact that the focus will be Diaboromon related. I've been going in order of kind of villains of appearances in the Digimon Adventure series. And that's the main thing where, you know, if you focused on more villain support, I don't think there's a single Digimon villain right now that has decent support that makes it OP. Oh, until Black War Greymon anyway. Hexablow. Hexablaumon, first campaign rare. I mean, at least it wasn't like the other one. We hit a rare, which means that there's a hit here. Hidden potential discovered. I definitely think that they could introduce more Diaboromon support at this point that actually makes it more viable. The Yggdrasil is also an interesting one. But to be honest, I didn't watch Data Squad. I really hated Data Squad as a kid. It really ruined Agumon for me for a little bit. Because those big nostrils, and I think it was Benjamin Diskins who actually voiced him, but there was just something about Agumon that seemed off. I'm very happy with Tom Fan's original Agumon voice. We got our Phoenix. Yeah, it's like he's about to like do Bankai or something like that, and I can say that because of the fact that Bandai is coming out with a Union Arena, which literally has Bleach in it. So take that. The one thing that okay, so another admitted fun fact here. Well, not fun fact, more of a confession. If Bandai had come out with a Bleach card game after they came out with the 1,000-Year War, I probably would have done Bleach card game content in addition to Digimon. Yeah, I think this is my 4th Vmon. But the fact that they made it Union Arena, I don't care as much because of the fact that there's so many different anime that are crossed with it that I'm kind of like, how do you combine all these into a card game that's actually fair? Machinedramon's doing okay. I think it's okay. I don't think it's like top tier broken, you know? Gross. Nikolai Petrov. This is my 5th one. Why do you grief me? It's okay. I never played that card game, to be honest. I've explicitly stayed in kind of like big... Well, I shouldn't say big. Because there's Digimon Digibattle 2, and I definitely played that a lot as a kid. I love that card game. Kota and Omni. What's your favorite to win Nationals? I have it locked in a 3-way tie right now. I don't think Black War Greymon X is going to win. I think it might top 16. I think it might top 8. But I personally think that right now, I think Grandis has a good chance if there's an oversaturation of Black War Greymon. I also think that Melga X has a shot because in the matchup against Black War Greymon X, it is very much a 50-50 matchup. That if your opponent doesn't draw what they need and you draw the nuts and you can literally just combo off, you kind of win. So, Aerovidramon and Black War Greymon. Let's go, the makeup. We make up for this Nikolai Pietrov. So we've got 2 more SRs, 2 more campaign rares, and then 1 more alt secret. I'm hoping for more arenas because I've opened literally a case already, and then some, and I have not pulled a playset of her yet. All right, so we got Snatchmon. It's an uncommon, and Rusty Tyrannomon, the boy. The Black War Greymon mirror match is literally a game of chicken. Whoever pushes out first, if you don't assert dominance and control, you lose. Also, if you hand them too much memory, you lose too. Maelstrom. Lady Debbie. Because the major thing with Black War Greymon is if you swing with, say... Oh, I don't know. Black War Greymon X into security, put them to 5, maybe even 4 memory. If they can go into Black War Greymon and then X Antibody, they now have the ability to proc that BT8 Metal Greymon that they push up from Raise potentially into swinging into your Black War Greymon X. I don't know about who pushes out faster. It's kind of who sets up like the right board control, honestly. That's how I felt about it. Any guesses on what this alt art's gonna be? We got Taiki, it's a rare, so we know we have a hit here. And Eos, campaign. In my experience playing the Black War Greymon X matchup, I always want to go second, because that means that if I go second, my opponent is going to push out first, which means that I'll be the second to push out of Raise. So if they've established their board, I can then destroy their board. Hey, Pinky Zen. I'm doing well. It has been a long day of work, so now we're just kicking back, opening some packs, and chilling with everyone in this room. It's been a blast. We opened up some really really impressive alt arts in the first box, and now we're on box number 2. Meme. Mirage Gaugamon. Hope you're doing well. For those of you wondering, I strained my wrist, so this is where I'm wearing a compression band for the time being and hoping that I don't have to wear this too much longer. Who knew creating a 5-course meal for your parents for Chinese New Year was going to take it out of you? Is there a scenario in general where you want to go first? I think it depends on the matchup, to be honest. Yo, let's go! Shoutmon, cross 7. Go, go, Power Rangers. I mean, I don't think Bandai owns Power Rangers. I think that's a Sentai thing. Let's go. So we got one more hit. Let's hope for Mirai. And we are done with the campaign rares, too. Yeah, I plan on selling any extras that I have. I think, in general, the scenario where I want to go first... there's not a lot of matches where I like going first, period. Yeah, another Gigadramon foil. And then we got an Akiho Rindo. Because every matchup, it's kind of like, why do I want to go first? Because if my best play is going to be Agumon, Agumon X, cool boy, that's 2 memory. But if I brick and I go and I only have ways to go Greymon X antibody from BT11, it still feels bad to give 3 memory over. That's the big one for me, and that's one thing I always want to avoid. Holy Sunshine and Tyrannomon. I'm just going to stick to Melga X, so question how many rounds are in the first day. That I do not have the answer to. I'm going to guess like 11, because I think the time is like 8 a.m. in the morning to 11 p.m. at night. Hades Force. Last hit. The Mirai, let's go! She's so hard to find. Makes me sad. Melga X is a safe choice. Again, I think Melga X and Grandis is a toss-up match between the two. Between Melga X and Black War Greymon X, I think Black War Greymon X has a slight advantage, but it's still a 50-50. It really depends on who finds their pieces first. Yo, Ignite-Mon. I love this card. I really love Ignite-Mon. There are some stupid combos you can do with this. And Lilith. And that's it for box number 2. All right, give me a sec while I record this again, guys and gals. And I will basically just chill here while you guys... These are always going to be together. I don't know why. There. Campaign rares. We go you, and you. There we go. Alright. 1 Phoenix, 1 Mirage, no GG, Black War, Merva, Bagra, Mirai. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we go Rust Tyranno, HPD, Hexablau, and then Eos. And then we go Shoutmon Cross 7, and then our 5th Nikolai Petrov. Whew. Box number 3. From what I've seen and read about, the chance of pulling a gold card is about 1 in probably 3 cases. At the same time, it also depends on, number 1, how clumped are your pulls. Because allegedly, I've heard some people open up 2 in a single case. Which is kind of huge. That'd be a busted case, in a way. By the way, shout outs to the Collector Store. The Collector Store, not sponsored, is a store located in, I think, close to St. Louis, Missouri. Best shop that I've ever shopped from. They are always, like, kind. They've always, like, hooked me up at the best prices. And I love it. Hey, Radioactive. Welcome, welcome. Ray Ivory. Welcome as well. Blue Marimon. And a King Zuka. Nothing exciting for the first pack. I hope, again, everyone is having a good Friday. It's the long weekend for some of you. It is President's Day weekend, I believe, and that's where some people are getting Monday off. Unfortunately, I work, so not for me. Magma Bomb and Taiki, Kiriha, and Nene. And I also did test this again. I test this with every set. I weigh packs to check if you can still weigh them. With campaign rares, it's a little funky, but for the most part, you can hit everything still on, like, the money. Man, Bagramon is in every freaking box I've opened, basically. That's what it feels like. That's how much I feel about it. I'm not even going to sleeve it right now. I'll sleeve it when I get another SR. Veggie. I wish they had the tournament in Texas. Cali is so expensive. Everything is expensive, my guy. I just chatted with a friend earlier today, and they were telling me about how much their daycare costs for their kid. And I'm like, holy crap. I don't even have kids yet. How do some of you do this? And the answer is, they don't have a cardboard addiction like I do. The Galgamon deck is super fun. I haven't played it yet, but after the reveals for a lot of the stuff for BT13, it has potential. It definitely has a lot of potential. Fusion Eyes and Akio Rindo. I'm also getting close to getting playsets of a lot of the common uncommons, and I'm really excited to actually bling out potentially a full Black War Greymon X deck. Would I actually play it? I don't know if I'd play it. It'd just be to show it off, if anything. Maelstrom and Tyrannomon. If I've learned anything from people with kids, they live on a dream and lots of tears. I mean, that's the same thing can be said though for people who, you know, want to do what they want to do with their life. If I could, you know, quit my job and do content creation, would I do it? Honestly, yeah, I would. The problem is it doesn't pay the bills. Is Cross Art good? I think it's pretty good. I think it does even better than it did in previous formats. Hades Force. Ooh, the third Old Force Vidramon. I love how pretty this card is. I really love like the artist who did it. It's subtle. I could use less side boob, but that's just my opinion. Focus on the Old Force, not the Rena. How do I handle all of my bulk? I don't.
Yeah, I do.
Thanks, dear.
You're welcome.
For the most part, it's sorted and organized by set. And after that, I will usually check with my friend who has an actual like bigger store. And if he wants to buy it, he can buy it. You usually have to look for like stores either locally or online. And the going rates typically go for, I think, 10 for every 1,000 bulk common uncommon. And 15 if it's like mixed with rares and stuff like that as well. How is the box going? It is going well, Alpha DT. I hope your box opening went well earlier. I really enjoyed seeing some of the pulls that you got. Yu Yakuga and the Mervamon. Again, like I said, these two will always almost be in a box. Always together. You get one, you'll get the other. But this is probably the prime time to pick up, you know, singles that you need, foils, alt arts, because after today, not after today, but after next week, After Nationals, prices will start stabilizing because people will be like, oh, this is the deck that works for the next 2 months. So they will buy, you know, all like the bling bling for that specific deck. Will Black War Greymon X win? I personally don't think so. Again, I think it'll top, but I don't think it'll outright win the tournament. If it happens to happen, then more props to, you know, the deck. I think this is a Gazi, just based on the amount of the edge of I saw. So we have a Biomon, and nope, it is Hidden Potential Discovered. It is a campaign rare, though. I still disagree with how they did the campaign rares. Out of all the ones they picked, though, I really enjoyed a lot of their selections. I think choosing between the Rust or the Metal Tyrannomon would have been better. Yeah, secrets this set are a lot harder to pull. They are much more difficult because there's just so many tamers. Metal Gray. Phoenixmon, on the note of birds. I'm at 2 alt arenas right now, but I've only opened 3 regular arenas. So it feels bad in many ways. Some people don't like Ulforce Veedramon because of the tamer reliance that you have for the deck. And because of that, if you don't play your tamers, you don't win. But at the same time, if your tamers get blown up by Black War Greymon, then that's the other issue. Personally, I still enjoy the deck. I think it's fun. It's a more fair Melga in some ways. Interesting. So you got an SR with a common. That's something that I don't see. So I'm guessing it's basically randomized. You're guaranteed 12 rares and 12 uncommons. This is still a pretty good box, though. Pretty good box. Veggie and Angelomon. Mirage? Looks like a Mirage to me. Rust? Mirage. Interesting. That's really nice. I hope they were Greymon X's. Man, this is probably my 6th of Emon. But it's an uncommon, which means that there is a pre-release version, I believe. Hey Rio, welcome to the stream. I am hunting for gold cards and alt arts. that is the extent of my stream. I like to collect playsets of everything. So for me, it's all about getting the 4 ofs. I don't have my bling bling binder now with me because the other binder is now in the game loft where everything lives and resides after it has completed its functionality. Alright, I got 2 hits left. And that is where my 4 Ghost Alphamons reside. 2 Warmont and Metal Tyranno. So now we have the alt or secret left. I'm going to guess it's going to be a Griefer. Could be Akiho Rindo. Or it could be... let me switch these around real quick just so that I have them already organized. Centarumon. Really nice that they finally brought Centarumon into the Digimon trading card game. There are quite a few number of Digimon who have yet to make appearances, and Centarumon was one of them for a while. We still don't have Digimon like Vademon. We don't have Datamon, however you want to pronounce it. We don't have the Apoclymon from the Dark Masters, who they follow. Who else? There's just a lot, you know? Galacticmon, a secret rare alt art. Not that big of a hit. It looks cool. I just don't see myself playing this deck ever, to be honest, because... Anyone else enjoying Galacticmon? Or tried it yet? You're actually floored by Datamon? That's what I'm thinking. I think a lot of the next set for BT14 is going to be that. Will it actually, you know, be adventure? I don't know. They did announce today with the boxes, though, that they are going to do and they changed it. It's not War Dragon of Courage anymore. It's just the Dragon of Courage and the Wolf of Friendship. The color of the deck boxes are black and purple, respectively, which really has me thinking, what are they doing? Snatch and Machine. Because there's already implications that it's going to be a black War Greymon deck, and then there's going to be a purple Metal Garurumon deck. We've already seen those Digimon in those specific colors a long time ago, actually. But will they actually get it? Will they actually continue doing support there is the question. I guess for me, the major question is, are they going to reboot all the support for it, like the BT5 Agumon and Gabumon, and the BT9 Agumon X and Gabumon X, and basically make them dual color black-red and blue-purple? That's the big question for me. I don't know what to think anymore about that set, or the starters, I should say. We got Walru and we got Omnishout. Nothing big here. And that's it for this box. Not bad overall. I think it was a pretty... I think we plussed in phrases of things that I used to do with Yu-Gi-Oh! And again, give me 1 sec to mark these down. 1. Mirage. Black or gray. 3. Yeah, that's some clumping right there. I got the same box basically as the last one. And then the alt art's changed. Rust, Metal, HPD, EOS, no, Hexablow EOS. It was almost identical box. Full Force and Galactic. So far, a lot of my boxes are just breaking even what I spent, which isn't bad. Oh, oops. Here you go. Forgot to give you these. The new keyword is definitely something I'm curious about now. Because if it's not red or blue, then they won't really do crests. Because I would imagine crest would have been more implemented with the specific color. If you're making it black, though, it's really hard to say what it could be. I swear if they make something regarding the, like, kids doing something, and what I mean by that is kind of highlighting the specific episode where Ty and Matt held hands while, you know, TK and Kari's Digimon fired arrows of love and hope and light and hope. Whatever. It's been so long since I watched that episode. I am the true playset of Eosmon? No, I probably will not go for a true playset of Eosmon, to be honest. I am honestly just gonna pick my 4, and then I know people who want to build the dream, the fully blinged Eosmon deck. Gara and Tuar. Allegedly, after 3 cases, you will have a playset of all the common and uncommon foils. Allegedly. DG Dimension. Commandramon. wonder what happens if I do this. I'm gonna try this real quick. Okay. I am now also recording this in case I do open the gold. Then I will have it for a video clip. Shoutmon DX and Phoenixmon. Not surprised. The 30 alt art Eosmons. I know someone who's also trying to get 30 copies of the foil Venmon. That'll be a fun undertaking. I'll have them covered probably because I think I have my 4 and I don't need any more. Alright. Galmon. Black War Greymon. We're seeing a lot more Black War Grey ones and I like that. I like that because initially opening 3 boxes between doing some pre-release events and stuff like that, I did not open a single Black War Greymon. Actually, I opened 1. But still, 1 out of 3 is pretty crap luck. Machine and alt art Mirage Galgamon. Let's go. I just don't want any more Nikolai Petrovs, please. No more Nikolais. You can give me the Mirage. Just don't give me Nikolai. You serious? I already got a little white corner right there. Yes, another one. I don't think I have even a single one of these yet, and I need another one. I need more. I need more Tanemon. Tanemon is the best green egg ever in existence now in my mind. You might say like Gummymon or something like that, but I love the fact that with Angoromon, I can draw 2. I can Pot of Greed. Suka and Omnishout. Analog Man. Mirage. The regular art. So I think I'm at 2 Mirages right now. About halfway through this box, we have seen 5 hits. The fact that there's 12 hits now is actually kind of interesting. But I'd honestly rather get like the Tamers as box toppers instead. Aravi. And a Seraphimon. I have not seen one of these in so long. I feel like it's been like 8 boxes since I've seen a Seraphimon. That's actually kind of surprising. Ooh, an Agumon X. And a Lady Debbie. And last pack on this side. We've already hit 6 different ones, so are we going to get a hit? There's a rare, so it's very possible we could. And we get Mirei Mikagura. Let's go. I'll probably be doing also more gameplay videos in the future. I just know right now that a lot of people are doing testing for nationals. I'm trying to get a lot of my content up and running before I leave. That way I don't have to worry about it. How many boxes have I been through already, Angelo? According to my records right now, I've gone through 18. This is the 19th box. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I got 12 pre-release kits total. So that means that I've opened the equivalent of basically 3 boxes there too. So in total, I've opened approximately 22 boxes right now. and I have 2 cases to go through. I am probably going to send an email to the other person who I bought from, because they did not send illustration packs. Mildly salty about that. Mildly.
Mildly.
Because for me, I wanted, you know, the illustration packs just to get extras up to give to people. Or as giveaways, you know? Because apparently they're that shorted. So that kind of sucks in general. But hey, what do I know? At the same time, I feel like if I spend the equivalent of almost $1,500 at your store, I'm pretty sure you should still give me at least 4. I'd feel happy with 4. I had one store even communicate with me. They were like, hey, we don't have enough. Can we give you less? And I'm like, yeah, sure. How many? And they said, here's 16. And I'm like, it's fine. Just give me 12 because I have another order from somewhere else. Hexablow. So the illustration packs are the cards. There are 8 cards inside of them. And inside of them are basically the winners from the art contest last year. And a lot of them are really great art pieces. I really love them. The Lily one is probably my favorite one out of all of them. 2 things though. Number 1, they are not foiled. They are not textured. They are literally just... let me grab this. They're like this Greymon. There's no foiling. There's nothing. So with that in mind, literally it's a pack of 8 cards that are really cool art of alternate arts of Digimon in the Digimon trading card game. And that's pretty much it. Blue Mara. Eos. And that is the last campaign rare. So let me go and sort these real quick. I think we go like that. Done. Metal Greymon, Cyber Launcher, and Hades Force. A lot of the artworks for this year's art contest, I really liked them. I didn't enter it myself. I like to draw, but I'm really bad at coloring, which is kind of a weird thing. Magma Ball. Lilithmon. But a lot of the entries for War Greymon I really liked. One of them feels like a thirst trap, though. Speaking of which, after I finish this box, I'll also take a drink. Yu Yakuga, Shoutmon, Cross 7. I'm gonna actually go ahead and grab a drink now.
Yeah, drink.
Am I separating out the holo commons and uncommons? Yes. I'm not doing it. My wife is doing it right now. Again, round of applause for her. Always helping me out. That's one other thing I am blessed with. Having a partner who supports my cardboard habits.
You support my habits.
Shh. No one needs to know. Taiga, and we got a Marsmon. Down to the wire. There's 2 packs left. I doubt there's going to be a gold card in here. They are mythical. But imagine it being like last time, where I'm on my very last pack and I literally open it. You know, I'd be like, really? This again? Bioma? And the alt art Taiga. Mutual enabling? Yes, yes it is. So yeah, this is the one problem with this set is there's so many alt arts that aren't worth anything that it makes you feel bad buying a box. The only thing that really gives you a lot of value in the box is the gold card. Because if you open up alt art Taiga, and Akiho Rindo, your box already based on 2 cards that normally could average, you know, much more than that, are literally like 15-20 bucks. So if you paid more than, you know, 60 bucks for a box, it feels bad. Anyway, that is the end of this box. I got a lot of red this time, but I got the best SRs to hit, Blackboard Greymon and Mirei Mikagura. And then, of course, we got our Altar Tamers and a Mirage, which isn't terrible. I still needed them, but I will hit the point where I'm like, I don't want you. Please go away. 1, 2, 3. Mirage. Black War. Mirei. We did get a Serafi, Commandra, Serafi, Commandra. I think Hexablau and Eos were the last ones. And then we went Mirage. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a neg box. Meaning we didn't not break even on it. So yeah, this was a net loss of $16. But on average right now, it looks like my average box value is estimated around 85. Which again isn't terrible. Is Akiho not money? I think Akiho... I don't think she's a waifu per se, because, like, it's not Mirei, and it's not Rina. Those are in the more playable decks, if that makes sense. I mean, the last time I saw Akiho, she was, like, 10, if even. This will be... box number 20. Rematch? What do you mean by that, Isaiah? Megalo Spark. And Z-Gray. What do you mean? What do you mean by panda? Oh, no. I sprained my wrist, so I'm a little unable to move too quick, so I'm just using this to try to recover a little faster. Wrist joints are important. Who knew? Agu X and Digi-Dimension. Neat little throwback to the music we're playing too, because Digi-Dimension came from that. Oh! Nice. I see what you're saying. Nah. Nothing like that, Mike Biscuits. Alright. Dracomon. Heck yeah. And Shoutmon DX. An egg? I've gotten so many Yokos. I need more Tanes. Although at this point I could probably build a blinged out Marsmon raid deck. Shumon? Ah, here we go again. Bagra. He returns. Like, I get that with Bagra or like any other villain Digimon in the Digimon trading card game. A lot of what Bandai has done with this has been create powerful effects, but they are very expensive. And because of that, it's what makes it difficult for the boss monster, the villain, to really thrive in a competitive scene. Machine? Zephyr! I think Yoko will be good in a red hybrid deck. I personally think Yoko will be good there. I think Tane will be good in a green hybrid deck. And let's see. Hercules X antibody. Merva! Hello, they joined together again. Madoki Beta, along with Omni Shout. Snow Godly, and a King Suka. Surprisingly, I'm wondering if I'm going to get at least 6 hits at the on one side of the pile. Because I'm at 4 right now, but I'm looking really close. Analog could be here. HPD. One thing I was telling people with pre-release was the fact that they could use HPD if they pulled it. And if you Digivolve one of your green Digimon into something, so if you have like a Digitamamon out, you could play this and basically go into your level 6 for free. Granted, you need 2 bodies to make it work, but it's still it was a funny concept. Koro and Aravidramon. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this going to be a hit? It is. We got our Gazi. I really like the artwork for this Gazimon. Definitely one of my favorite arts for a Floodgate. Don't get me wrong, I think Madoki is actually kind of cute too. Kiriha, Taiki, Nene, Galacticamon. This is my 3rd Galacticmon that's a regular art after opening 20 boxes. I think that's crazy in some ways. Yeah, my hand's okay, Jay Stewart. So I sprained my wrist a while back, and I thought it would heal, and now I'm just wearing compressions over just to make sure that it doesn't hurt. It also helps with like moving a little bit more, so. Mars. Move those a little bit. Alright. High Mega Blaster. Nikolai Petrov. I cracked Alt Art Galactic at pre-release. Used it on top of Metal Tyrannomon. It was obnoxious. That is hilarious. That is really funny. Akihiro Rindo and Rust Tyrannomon. Hello? Okay, there we go. That's it for the campaigns. We got 2 more and we got 1 more alt art. Actually, we have the alt art. It is a guaranteed alt art. Tyrannomon? Digimon. I haven't seen Digimon in a while, to be honest. I was actually enjoying that reprieve of GG's. How many Dory have I gotten so far? I think I'm at like 13 or 14. Let me look. It looks like, according to my records from all the boxes I've opened, I've opened 4 Seraphi, 10 Metal Tyrannomon, 10 Metal Tyrannomon, 4 Rust, 7 Gazi, 8 Hidden Potential, 4 Commandra, 7 Hexablow, 10 Eos, 11 Dory, and 11 Zephyr. Oh wait, I already did it. It was these two. Wait, I mixed it up. Oh well, it's fine. They were just rares anyway. Evil Squall and Hades Force. Hey, welcome, NATO Spike. Welcome to the stream. We are on box number 20 right now. No gold hits. We opened up with some really fire alt arts. And now we've been kind of chilling with some... alright pulls, I guess. I'm on the hunt for so many arenas because I'm hooking some friends up with, you know, their playsets and whatnot. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to get them. We'll see. Arena seems to be much harder to pull. Yuya. All Force. Because I noticed that for this set, before, if you opened like two boxes, you got all your uncommons, commons, and rares. Maybe 3 boxes. Now you need like 6 boxes to get everything. Hey, welcome, Spigabond. Spagabond? Spagabound. NATO Spike only got 1 box and got 5 alts, not including the Commandramon. Yeah. Oh, this is an alt art, and I think I know what it is. We got Taiga, and we got our boy, the Blackwood Greymon X. This is our 4th copy. We're done with this. Now any extras I can just sell. And that's the end of that box. That box is like, we're good. We Gucci. We done. Short A sound like Vagabond. Spagabond. Yeah. The collection is definitely coming along. For me too. I just talked to a friend the other day, and I basically have all my pre-release cards except for like 2 from BT9 and BT10. I am missing literally, I believe 1 Guilmon X now, 1 X Antibody from BT9, and then 2 Renamon from BT10 to finish up my playset of pre-release for literally to be caught up on BT12. Astral Snatcher and Metal Greymon. Overall, not bad. I think the Blackwood Greymon X really made up for a lot of it. So, yay. Now that was in the correct order. We go you. I messed that up. We'll do that. And then Galacticmon's here, and then War Greymon X on the bottom. I do like the fact that it's not too pricey either. Rusty doesn't do too much in general, in my opinion. It's a fun casual deck to play. But yeah, I agree. Merva, Bagra, and then Galactic. That's my 3rd one. And then I think we are good on Blackwood Greymon X. Indeed we are. That is the 4th one. So now... Cool. Extra Blackwood Greymons for sale. Let's go. Yep. Right now with general release, all the cards are gonna just see a decline, and that's the surprising thing. Like everyone was buying pre-release cards, and I'm like, why? You wait. This. There we go. And if the music's too loud, do let me know, because I did just adjust it on my end. Like in comparison to audio of me talking, let me know, because I don't stream that often, so it's weird for me. Snow Goblin? Yuya Kuga. I only pre-order commons and uncommons because I don't usually buy boxes and prices don't drop much lower than the pennies. That's true. Like, if you spend about 15 cents for a common, uncommon, and then, like, maybe 25 cents to 50 cents for the rares, like, you're covered. Alright, let me raise the audio up slightly for the background music. Let me know if that's too much. Taiga and Phoenixmon. Yep, don't buy the pre-sale. It was a common thing that was said a lot of time. And you kind of learn, like, over time as well, like, when to buy stuff and when not to buy stuff. Oh, how the waifu has fallen. To be fair, she will spike in BT12. Thanks to all 4 sets. I made the blaster. Digimon. That's the thing. Blue Flare only needed like 2 different cards to really upgrade. Maybe 3. Evil Squall. Meltgram on X. I mean, I kind of want to play Blue Flare, to be honest. It's a cheap deck. The thing is, everybody wants to play Crossheart. Baramon? Angelmon. Alright, Rust Tyranno. We got a rare, which means this is a hit. Yeah, Blackboard Greymon X, let's go! I don't know how much Blackboard Greymons are at this point. Are they still like 10? It really is. I took out the starter deck 1 Greymons from some list online and replaced them with Lobomons. The deck cost me 35. Yeah, that's the thing. Last I saw, Blackboard Greymon X was floating at about 10, 12. Yeah. Somewhere around there. Destro. Frost Yakima. I love this game. Digimon Digital Card Battle. I never finished it because I got to the point where they were like, you can't use option cards. And I'm like, but I like option cards. Option cards are fun. They're going to bounce for a little bit. They'll stabilize after Nationals. Zeke? Commandra! There was a time last night where they would have hit their lowest possible cost. Last night. Right before. And now, I think the prices will be at their lowest, but at the same time, I think they'll jump back up after Nationals, for sure. Because that's when everyone will have figured out what works for the next 2 months, and then they'll buy out those deck cards. If only Bandai would acknowledge that they took from my what if. No, I'm just kidding. They don't take from my what ifs. I think the what if series is still one of my favorite series to do, as I mentioned before. For those of you who are listening out there, the spoilers for next week, it'll be Diaboromon. And then the following week after that, we're going to actually be bringing up some Eosmon support. Because, let's be real, I think some of the villains could use better villainy. Despite the tamer dependencies, I'm probably going to stick to Yellow Hybrid this entire... Ooh. Ooh. I love it. I like going rogue in a lot of games, because I don't... Playing unique and creative builds is something that I enjoy doing. So for me, if I'm playing the same deck over and over again, I'm going to get bored. So one thing that I was talking to someone about actually was, if Bandai made a format where you could bring 3 decks into a tournament, and you played basically one of those decks each round, then at that point, you're providing... I would play a lot more competitively at that point. Because I can't play the same deck for more than 3 rounds before I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm bored. Seraphimon. Oh, I just mentioned that my spoilers. I'm doing a Diaboromon What If episode next week, and then the week after that, the week after Nationals, I'm dropping a What If Eosmon support. So there's gonna be a lot of fun things going there. Yeah, something like Conquest. Bakuramon's weird. Like, I read the effect and I'm like, this effect is busted. I could tuck your Black War Greymon underneath an Agumon. Like, that's funny. But at the same time, Bagra is just too expensive. I feel like anyway. And I've seen people play like the deck in theory, but it's just so... Cross decks in general for me are weird. I think it's weird to like not Digivolve. Yeah, Mirai, let's go. Yeah, that's the thing, Dealscrim. Yeah. My thoughts with the 2 out of 3 Conquest form is how do you know what to ban from your opponent's lineup? That's what I don't know. Like, I know, like, I like to think about theory things, but I don't really care for the... Well, not, I don't care for it. It's more like the application. How do you apply it? How do you realistically, practically do it, you know? That's the thing. Crossheart is gonna always be cheap. Like, I don't think there's a single expensive card in the deck because I was testing with Shoutmon King version, and you just don't use it anymore. Heck yeah, cross 3, Analog Man. BT12 is gonna have a lot of specialized support for different decks. So I've already started looking into it because I need to start building into the BT12 set review. Hey! Finally. I got a playset of Renas I can play with. It only took me 20 boxes. Depression. Yo, those are great pulls. Cooties kick. Lady Debbie. Like, the funny thing about Bandai is they're like, hey, we heard you want to stop playing, you know, War Greymon, Black War Greymon decks. And people are like, yeah, I'm done playing Black War Greymon. And then like, how about Shine? And you're like, no! I didn't mean for you to go back and... If I pulled an alt Rena, that'd be hilarious. I doubt it, though. I sincerely doubt it. My luck is not that fire. And... Hey, another Andromon! Let's go! Let's go! Waifu tax! That's the sad thing. You can't even use the Dragonkin support. It would have been so awesome if you could, but like... Literally, you go from, oh yeah, I can add 2 to, nope, I'm only going to add 1 every time. Shoutmon? Hexablow. There's definitely clumping. I've heard people say that if you open a case with maybe with a gold, there's a chance you open a second gold in that same case. Meme? GG! And then one more hit. I think it's an Eosmon. Come on, Earthman. I need to collect all of you. Earthman! It's okay. And last pack. Is there gonna be a gold in here? I doubt it. It'd be funny if there was. Then the stream would end. So I sprained my wrist. So this is kind of to help with like swelling, I guess. Yeah, it's been painful. Oh, wait, I have to record.
Well, it's supposed to help with like restriction,
yeah,
swelling, support.
Yeah, my wrist has been hurting for probably the last month. So, it's been rough. You, and then you. This was a plus box. 100% a plus box. Bam. Bam. Mirage, GG, Black War. And then Mirai. Rena. Serafi. Commandra, Hexablout, Eos. And then we have a Angelmon. Second one. GG is a super rare. A plus box, in my mind, refers to a box that... so I paid $68 for my boxes, each one of them. And so if I tally up the total of all these cards that I just pulled, do I make more than $68? Answer, with the Rena and the Black War Greymon and the Mirai, yes. So that's where for me, I'm like, that's a plus right there. Alright, we are halfway through the case with about an hour and a half, which means that there's probably about an hour and a half left for this stream. I have more cases to open, but I'm probably going to open them with the wife, because my wife also enjoys opening boxes, and I would like to have her to have some fun too. She's been helping me a lot tonight. There's definitely already a lot of cards that have been sorted over there, and I still have to... Give me 1 sec, I gotta turn off my other headset. Okay. Alright. Here we go again. Sorry. Digimon World 2. Let's go. Buster Dive. Lilithmon. Digimon World 2 was another game I never finished. And as a kid, I didn't really like Digimon World 1 for the fact that I didn't like it that my Digimon died. Especially after I spent like a lot of time raising them. And then they just died. So that's where for me I was more of a... I'm just going to use this cheat code, this Game Shark, and we're going to make it so that our Digimon lives forever or longer, and then we can actually play through the game and do stuff. As an adult, I realize now there's just not enough time. Like, that's the thing. I'm going to tell you right now, without even looking at what this was, I'm pretty sure this is a Doraemon. Like, pretty sure. You know how I know? Because this is the only white egg that is on the back card. There's no rare eggs in this set, so this is the only possible one to be in the back. Digimon World 2's DNA system was the breaking point for me. It was suffering. The DS game really fixed the system. I mean, I didn't mind like World 2. I just remember I did something stupid as a kid, and then I rage quit. Like, I literally was like, it was like one of those like moments where it was like Teach Greymon Nova Blast, and I accidentally hit no, and then I was like, no, I have a Greymon that just knows Fireball. Are you kidding me? Alright, Taiga and Eos. Give me some more Eosmon. It is a very beautiful card, but it's very purpley for a black card. Like, you'd think it was more of a purple card with the way they designed it and drew it. Bio. And, oh, our first alt Mervamon. Let's go. I have not seen this card in person, so this is my first one. Well, I also didn't realize that Minervamons had gone up, because the last time I sold them, they were like $20, $25, and I looked up and they were like, yo, what? They're like 37 now? We got Gestamon, XL Arm, Metal Greymon, nothing huge. Angelomon, Zephyr. Getting a lot of campaign rares first. I wonder how good Gestamon is. I pulled a critical arm recently, I think 2 of them. I honestly have no idea how good Gestamon is because it seems more like a meme deck to me than anything else. There's certain decks in this card game where I'm like, this isn't good, but it's funny. So like Sukamon, people really like it for the fact that it's funny. But for me, it doesn't have the consistency to get there. Sometimes you'll trash all of your Sukamons that you need to, and then other times you don't hit it. Marsmon. I really love Minerva Merva. It's a really fun deck. But no, in general, like, I tried Sukamon with the purple engine, I tried Sukamon with its own engine, and then I actually splashed it with Gaiomon, and the Gaiomon variant was my favorite out of all of them, which is weird to say. But it was funny. Because at that point, you're just trying to get into as many black multicolored cards, so you can use Deltamon too. Tuormon. HPD. We are done with our campaign rares. Yeah, it looks like in my first case, I only got 2 Renas. I'm currently at 1 on this case. We got a Yoko, and we got Digidimension. I have many extras if you would like one. And if you're local, that makes it even easier. Shoutmon, DX, Bogremon. So the question becomes, am I going to get a Lilithmon? Or not Lilithmon, Minervamon. Arkansas? I'm close to that. I'm in Kansas. I am in Kansas. So very close. Angemon and Galmon. I don't think we're close in proximity, but the name is close. Palmon? Machine Dramon. For sure, for sure. Digimon is one of the probably topics that I really enjoy. I wouldn't say I'm an expert at it by any means. I definitely study this game a lot to try to understand the combos, the different references. In terms of shows, I feel like I'm decent with like Adventure, the movies, Adventure 2, Tamers, Frontier. Once you hit Data Squad, that's where I'm like, I don't know anything about this anymore. Omni Shout. Alt Marsmon. You know, I actually really enjoy this art, even though Marsmon isn't played too heavily right But like I said earlier in the stream, I do think that it would have been better had they made some of the tamers box toppers. I would have preferred that over what they did, because I'm just running into so many of them. Applemon is also one I haven't watched yet. I've only seen a few episodes of Ghost Game, and I've only seen like 4 episodes of the Adventure reboot. And it's weird. Minerva! Yeah, I watched the Data Squad dubbed. That was my issue. I watched it dubbed, and that's where I made the mistake. Because for me, I didn't like Agumon from the get-go. I didn't like the English dub for Agumon, which literally left a more negative impression for me on the show. Are there cool elements to it? I think so, but... yeah. Have you ever played a D&D campaign with a bit too much combat and not enough storytelling or role-playing? That's how I felt about the reboot. Yeah, I agree. I think it felt like it was trying to be more action-y to try to, like, keep your attention. But the issue in doing that it didn't have a good story. So it didn't make me feel like, you know, all the kids had equal representation like they did in Adventure 1. In general, it just, you know, it was less Adventure reboot, and it was just more tie-in Agumon going adventures with friends. That's what it felt like to me. Hi, Mega Blaster. Taiki. Shiriha and Nene. This box will probably be close. And almost none of the antagonists have any sort of dialogue in it. I mean, I didn't even watch past, like, the first 3 episodes, so that tells you how much I know about the actual, like, story. Evil Squall, Memimon. And as a result, I don't know what they did with Devimon. I don't know what they did with... I don't think my Otismon is in the reboot, if I recall. The final boss monster... Okay, this is going to be hard to say, because, one, I think it's very close to an inappropriate word, so I don't really want to say it, if that makes sense. But because of that, I don't remember him saying anything either. I'll say negative. Negative-mon instead, because really the rest of, you know, the real name sounds too close to a certain phrase. And we're not here to upset people. I love cheesy dubs. That's one thing I loved about Digimon and the movie. Like, people hated the movie. I loved the movie. And people can fight me on that, but I loved every second of it and what they did. We barely broke even on this box. Ah, Betomon. That's the other one. No, but it was the final form against Omnimon that I was kind of like, is this name really what I think its name is? This is box number 8. Data Squad, the series in the US, moved over to the Disney. Oh, that's why. The fact that they kept changing from, like, Fox to Disney and other stuff was what killed it for me. Make a little sprite. Yuyakuga, Metal Tyrannomon. Whoever created the localization, Citrimon needs to be kicked. I don't even know. Which one's Citrimon again? Alright, I gotta look this up. I mean, people were also like ticked off about Omega going to Omni, stuff like that. Oh, this Digimon. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, what is this? Why am I hitting every, like, campaign rare in the first 2 packs? On the bright side, you're very unlikely to not hit anything in the first, like, 4 packs. The chances of that happening are very low. Yeah. Yeah. I googled it after you said it. Panya? Lady Debbie. We got an egg? No, it's Koro. I've seen Koros and Yo-Oh goes a lot. I want more Tane. Taiki Kirihanene and Phoenixmon. You know, I keep seeing the gold on this card, and I think it's a gold card, and I'm like, and then I'm like, never mind, it's just gonna be Phoenixmon. Every time. Every time. Will there be a gold card? That is the big question I have. Black War Gray X, I'll take that. I'll always take the Black War Gray X. Instantly it makes up almost what? Let's see. 16% of my box. 12 divided by probably about 12.5%. Oh, you definitely should. War Greymon Raid is going to be really good. Remember, with Greymon X antibody from BT11, this Digimon can Digivolve into the BT12 Metal Greymon for a memory cost of 1. Meaning, if you go into Metal Greymon, and then Metal Greymon X, you can then give additional security check to your Raid War Greymon, and you also have protection probably from the Greymon X. It's just stupid. There's so much with that deck that I'm like, God, why did Bandai do this? DP drop slides in between the current Greymon sending defenses and just laughs at them, right? Yes and no, because the new Greymon, the Metal Greymon X from BT11, prevents DP reduction from happening, meaning that they have protection now from DP as well in some instances. It just depends on if they run that specific variant. Now, you could run both, to be honest. This feels textured. Akiho Rindo? That's why, it was textured. I literally felt the textures on my fingers before I even flipped it. Second or third Phoenixmon, I believe. Here we go. Yeah, the new Metal Greymon X, it will cost you 1 to go into from a Metal Greymon, but it prevents DP reduction on that Digimon stack and also D-Digivolution, so it's really powerful. If you can somehow reboot, which the new Raid War Greymon and BT12 does allow reboot when it's Digivolved into, that's where you can use that to pop another security. There's a lot of obnoxious things with that card. On the bright side, it doesn't have Blitz. That's the good thing. Hades? Mirai! These are the two cards you always want to see in a box, Mirai and Black War Grandma. Like, if you're going for profit, these are the best two, like, regular SRs. Otherwise, at that point, it then comes down to your alt arts. Correct. Its inheritable doesn't keep the DP reduction or the DIGI-Evolve effect for more than a turn. But sometimes that turn is enough. On top of that, like, DP reduction can work, but in combination with Yu Yakuga now, if you were to say go from Metal Greymon to Metal Greymon X and use Yuya, it now can't be hit with option cards, so you're kind of protected in some ways there too. Yeah, and usually what I like to do is I like to stagger it. So I can go basically into the Metal Greymon, right? Then the Metal Greymon X, and then if I suspend Yuya to give the protection from option cards, the next thing that I can do is that I can go into Black War Greymon, so that next turn I can go into the Black War Grey X for 2, and then stagger that effect again, so that I can maintain that option card prevention on my Digimon. Exactly. Shaman Cross 7. Yeah, Bagramon isn't a really great alt art. It's a pretty alt art. Got one hit left out of these 6 packs. That is huge. Angelamon? Digimon! And this box is done. That is literally all the hits right there. Because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regular hits here. And then you've got your 2 alt arts. And then your 4 campaign rares. How fast could Black War Greymon X rebuild considerably if I did kill the stack? The hard part is killing the stack. Like how are you trying to kill it is the question. Because if you're going into the instances of trying to like DP reduce it, you're basically doing a 2-for-1 in some instances because you need to get rid of that X antibody option card or you got to get rid of the tamer. It just depends. Like, there are ways to do it. The best way I found is play something bigger. Because the maximum DP that Black War Greymon ever goes to is like 16 or 17. 17 is where you can't really do anything, and that's where it's most problematic, if that's where like your threshold is. And then we go. Yeah, I got Serapi, Metal Tyrano, Mandramon, Hexagon, and we got Phoenix and well, good thing I finished the expensive one first. Like, de-digivolving isn't bad in some instances, but if you can't de-digivolve it and you can't target it with option cards, what do you do? You know? Fairmont? Rust. My brew leans more on more on monster effects for DP drop. That's good. Like, if you have monsters that do that, that's the better play to do it. The question is trying to get something that sticks on the board. That's the hard part. With Black War Greymon X, they can constantly pop stuff, redirect stuff, de-digivolve your stuff, and then you're like, cool, I'm never gonna get to my level 6. That's why in the mirror matchup, it's kind of a game of chicken, because unless you have a way to prevent their de-digivolve, because then if they try to de-digivolve but can't, then your monster is more protected than theirs. Cute. 2 war. Go. DG Dimension. there shouldn't be anything left in this box. So that's why for me, I'm kind of like, we're just scrambling through it to get the rest of this box done. And then there's 4 more to go. Box number 9. Cootie's Kick and Galmon. I might see about running a bit more red-yellow at level 4 so I can tech in Soapymon. I'm curious what this build is about. Dino Haiyu is interesting too. One reason why I wanted to run it, because it's Dragonkin. The only issue is you can't get to it from a black Agumon standpoint. I'm taking another sip of water. Yeah. When you use up, that's what makes it much harder. Cute. And Angelmon. Rust Tyranno. Phoenixmon. Back again. I want to build something with Rise Greymon. I think for me, the biggest issue right now is that there isn't a good top end to accompany him. Like, you have your red-yellow Rise Greymon, you have the yellow Rise Greymon, and then you have, of course, Rise Greymon X. My biggest issue is, what do you go into after that? Because the Shine Greymons all kind of suck unless you go, you know, into that specific yellow Shine Greymon, which, you know, capitalizes off your tamers. But then the issue becomes, how do you play your tamers if they're getting blown up? That's the real thing. That's my, like, conundrum. Like, I'm excited. I'm 100% excited for BT12 Shine Greymon because I actually like that effect more than most of the other ones. Cootie's Kick. Joa. Having an absolute of them and just laughing at whatever gets popped is what I've done so far. Yeah, I agree. But like I said, the issue becomes if you can't DP reduce, the Black War Greymon just sits there. Speaking of which, Black War Greymon. Okay, I almost have enough Mirays for all the people out there who need them. Rena is what I'm coming up short on so far. Shaman. Raj. My brother's been playing Black War Greymon against me for months, and I just played more of them. He could delete and make a proper dent. The other thing I've noticed is I initially thought you only needed 1 Black War Greymon, and I think the actual answer is you need 2 Black War Greymon, maybe even 3 in some instances. But the Black War Greymon X is definitely the big boss monster that you want to keep around. Yeah, Gaiomon is the like secondary for me too. I think this is Commandermon. Bam. Yep. Bongo Demand, welcome to the stream. Hey, DIGI-PANDA, out of topic, but thoughts on Gallantmon this format against Black War Greymon? Tamers can get blown up, but Takados can be played from trash with War Groundmon EX3. It's not a bad attempt. The biggest issue I have with Gallantmon is the searchability. There's so much that your deck wants to do, but at the same time, I feel like you're still missing something. That's the big thing. One other thing that makes me really upset about Gallantmon in general is that, can you imagine if they had a way to attack an opponent's Digimon? Like, that's unsuspended? Because I think that would make it also really good too. Garuda? Hercules. Omni Shout. Seraphimon. Seven Heavens. Also, very lackluster Digimon from like all of its appearances. It's never really done anything. It made one showing in Adventure, one in the movie, and it literally just opened up a Digi-Egg for Terriermon. Or Vmon, I actually don't know which one he did. Galmon decks might have just rolled their bones at home. Yeah, their offensive line has to push to the point where like they can actually take out Black or Greymon X, but at the same time, if they have the protection, what do you do? Because then you don't delete anything, and then they can redirect attack. The Raid Gallant is what I'm really looking forward to. I think that'll be like the real thing that saves the deck and makes it more playable. Not to mention, like, you can then change target and then... Yes! My 4th copy! I'm okay with this pack. There's no way for you to Digivolve. I mean, so you have to Blitz. Yeah, it's still kind of funky because, like, one thing I like about, like, X antibody stuff is that you can... I guess you could Raid and then X antibody to go into Galantmon X. Lady Debbie and Mirai. The perfect 2 cards in every box. Correct. Old Rusty has kind of that advantage too, and that's why I kind of enjoyed playing that Jurassic Aggro variant that I pulled on the channel. Ultimately, though, it just comes down to whether do you have the DP buffs to beat over it, or even Tamers to play it for free. Tokomon, Kiriha, Taiki, and Nene. I like how I always start off with Kiriha. Correct. That low starting DP was what made it hurt. Now, there are a lot of more ways to like get that DP buff now. The issue is, can you maintain it before you get the Digivolve? Yes! That's another one! Okay. So this case had 2? No, I think it was. Anyway. Not important. It's fine. I need another arena and I got it. I think I'm at 5. I need to get 3 more so I have my friend covered. Let's go. Ice statue. Nikolai Petrov. I still have 2 hits in the core and then 2. So I have 4 and I have 6 packs. Secrets per box? Ugh, feels low. Honestly, it feels very low. So I'm at box 24 right now. And I so far have only pulled 1, 2, 3, I think 8 secrets, which means it's about 1 in 3. Definitely is like a 1 in 3 to me. Oh, looks like we got an alt art. What do we get? Tyranno and the Lady Devimon. Nice. Really good box. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Rio. I appreciate it. So that means we have 1 more hit in the SR category, and then 2 campaign rares, and then one rare pack. So we got Grapleomon. I think this is the pack. Nope, it is definitely the campaign. The thing about Master for me was, okay, so there were a few cards that I was playing in my rendition that I was kind of like, I like this, and I also don't like this. Like, trying to... This is where EX3 Dark Tyrannomon had some advantages, but the issue with it also became that if you didn't have a secondary Digimon out to play, then its effect kind of fizzled. This is why I like Minervamon and Mervamon more, for the fact that you can abuse the two hand-in-hand together. Speaking of Mervamon, she's right here. And then we have one more pull. Let's see what we get. We got a Lilithmon, and we also got the Eosmon. This is our last hit for the box, which means this last pack here is probably just... I would usually say a bunch of rares, but it's a rare. Now that they're singular, it is now going to just be that. Sometimes it's weird. So this box so far, I think I've opened three arenas. Oh, did I go too far? I think I went too far on this one. Ah, whatever. I'll just go through the pack. All right, we got Titamon, Tekamon, and then there's the Yuya. Yep, it was the rare. I think I just slotted one extra card. So that's it for there. Pretty good pulls. I'm really happy as always with this one because again, these are the three best cards to get in a single box. So when you get these, good job. You literally just plussed a lot. And then that helps. My favorite is probably P057 Tyranno for being a 7k beater on your turn on a low. That is true. I mean, he's no 8mon, because 8mon truly is, you know, like 8k. But I do like that Bandai is incorporating more cards that are all turns effects, which means that you can prevent them from being deleted in many ways. Mirai, Rena. I think my pulls were Serafi, Commandra, Serafi, Commandra, Hexablau, and Eos. And then we go Lady Debbie. I think that's good. Alright, 3 boxes to go. Hey Ryan Brewer, welcome to the stream. There has not been a gold card yet, otherwise the stream would have ended already. But fret not, there are still 3 boxes to go through, and then after that, I'll do some closing remarks, and then I'll probably go rest for a bit, because I'm pretty tired. Opening these boxes back to back, you know, it's fun, but it also takes a lot out of you. I also have to get a bunch of, not orders per se, but like I have some friends like to buy for me, so I have to get those ready for tomorrow as well. So we got Yoga and Metal Greymon X Antibody. Nope, no gold there. I did get a Metal Greymon X though, because it felt like some of the rares that I had, I was not getting them. Is this an alt art? I thought I saw an alt art on this. So we got Angemwomon, Shoutmon, Cross 7. And just to kind of, you know, do a quick checkup on everything. So I'm on box 25 right now, and the average value of my boxes is so far about $84.73. On average, I've paid for my boxes at about the price tag of probably closer to 72. So I'm roughly making a profit if I were to sell literally everything. The wife is right next to me. She's helping me sort as I go.
After this, we're sorting.
What, I don't get to take a nap?
Yeah, we can. Sure, we can take a nap and then sort.
Hey, Greymon X, Rust Tyranno. I really love this card. Like, I don't love the card's effect. I just like the fact that I now have a foil version of it. Because one thing I hated about Greymon X from BT9, there's no foil for it. And I wanted one. Like, why'd you do that, Bandai? I know some people who will want to completely bling out their entire deck. Is there... Hey, babe, is that Angemon? Is it common or uncommon?
Uncommon.
Okay, so there is a pre-release version of that. But the thing is now, instead of like getting like pre-release versions of a card, you can do literally just foil versions of them, you know? So you don't have to even hunt. If you just want it to be shiny and blind your opponent. The fact that these foil uncommons are a thing now, and commons, now makes it possible. We got Poison Powder, and we also got Mars. Daniela Digimon, welcome to the stream. My significant other could only pull half a box while we're getting tired. But to be honest, she broke her hand before. Oh, that sucks. Sorry to hear. Pre-release Fire Drake Strikes are ludicrously cheap. Oh. Those might go up, to be honest. 2 War and Zephyr. I mean, max rarity is so loosely defined in this card game, I feel like. Because if you were to ask me what is the max rarity of Agumon, starter deck Agumon, what do you go with? Do you go with the BT10 box topper? Do you go with the Evo Cup? Do you go with the regional?
Why'd you hand this to me?
Oh yeah, you're right. I need that. Oh, that's hilarious. Grab Leomon and Shamon. And again, thank you all for joining me on this stream on this Friday. I know it's, you know, Friday night. You guys could be at bars, hanging out, shooting pool. I don't know. I don't do that stuff anymore.
Getting boba? Come on now.
Okay, getting boba from the words of my wife. Got one. And we also got an HBD. Means a lot, though. It really means a lot that, you know, you're all here and supportive of the channel as always. This is one reason why I like to do giveaways a lot. Keep in mind, the future giveaways are going to incorporate a lot of stuff. I was going to do a Staples like giveaway thing for, you know, the fact that Bandai didn't do a reprint set. But now that they're doing that, I'm actually dialing it back down to something else a little different. We'll see. I'm in the planning stages right now for it. Personally, Alex, I wish what they had done was that they had taken a slot in your uncommon common category instead of taking a rare slot. But beggars can't be choosers. Hercules Kabuterimon X Antibody, and we also got the Gazi. Let's look. You're keeping me distracted from the forest. Tiger currently mauling my... What are you playing? I haven't played a good game in a while. I think the last game I played on the computer was The Forest, and I really enjoyed that. Speaking of which, what is your favorite boba drink? Okay, here's the funny thing. I'm Chinese. My wife is Caucasian. Funny thing?
I am?
Stop it. Stop it. And the funny thing about this is, I don't like boba. I don't like boba. I like tea, but I don't like the bubble tea. I can do tea. I just don't do, you know, the stuff. Rio, so if you don't mind, your camera quality is very clean. What device to use? I use a Brio. I will probably do at some point a video of like all my specs and stuff. Galacticmon! This is the 4th one. Ah, you're on Final Fantasy right now. That's cool. I have a very voice actor. I hope so. I hope. So the thing about this is, here's kind of. I'll tell you guys a story. So before I started doing content creation, I actually tried this before, but I was into more like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that. So like, it didn't really do much. But I got laid off from my job in like 2017, and honestly, that was one of the biggest hurdles for me because I had gone to college, I got a job. And the thing is, I didn't like what I was doing. But let's be real. I ask each of you to like think about this question deeply, because the thing is, do you enjoy the job you are doing, or is it really just a job that you do to make money and survive and pay bills? And for me, after kind of evaluating that for me and getting laid off, it was kind of a slap in the face for the fact that I worked really hard. I worked a lot of extra hours back then. And this is where, for me, after I got laid off, I actually pursued voice acting for a little bit. I actually flew to Texas. I took voice acting classes with Sonny Strait. I've taken voice acting classes with Chuck Huber. So if you don't know any of these voice actors, Sonny Strait is the voice of Krillin in Dragon Ball Z. He is also the voice of Maze Hughes in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. He's also Koro Sensei in Assassination Classroom. The list goes on. And for me, also, Chuck Huber was another Dragon Ball Z veteran. So there was Android 17. He was also... Man, I should know. Oh, he's Hiei in Yu Yu Hakusho. So there's a lot of, like, people that I took classes from that I took their classes because I wanted to understand the principle of voice acting, the training behind it, how to really get involved with it. This is where reading helped a little bit too, because I started reading out loud a lot more. Yeah. Bagwan Bill, welcome to the stream. And, you know, you spent 6 years not enjoying the job. And, you know, sometimes you may tell yourself you want to quit, but at the same time, the question becomes, do you need the job to survive? Because if the question is you do need it to survive, you can't move on. And I mean, the other thing for me was I had some savings. So for me, if I hadn't met my wife, I probably wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now. I probably would have moved to LA. I probably would have auditioned more, gotten a demo reel made. There's a lot of characters that I love doing. I don't do this too often with people because it's something that you don't really bring up, you know? It's a weird, it's kind of a weird skill. But it's a skill I enjoy. So that's why, for the most part, one thing with my content on this channel, I need the audio to be near perfect. I need to really narrow down what my focus is, because I think that sometimes when you watch other content creators, you'll hear clicks, you'll hear breaths, and I don't know. I think those things kind of, they don't upset me, but it just doesn't have the same cleanliness of like the audio. Like when I was doing research on YouTube and content creation, there are two things that really strike out towards viewers. Number one, it's the audio. How good your sound is can really make or break whether your audience clicks off or stays on the channel. Yo, let's go. Number 3. Okay. And the thing is, like, I'm not like an expert with audio mixing or anything like that. I just try to find, you know, audio music that I like that's free and usable. So for me, a lot of my audio focuses on either Digimon World or other games that are in the Digimon franchise. Mega Man was one of my other favorite games as a child that I like to use that as well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no, that's it. Okay. We got Panya, Hades Force. Another and Lilith. The other person I've taken voice acting courses from, and it's not more so, it's more like a seminar. It's not like one-on-one personal, actually like him working with you on a one-on-one, but Steve Bloom was another voice actor I took classes from. You'll know him as Flamedramon, Raydramon, Magdamon, Blackboard Greymon, Guilmon, Yamaki, the list goes on. He's in the Digimon, he's in a lot of the Digimon franchise, and he's most well known as Spike Spiegel in the Cowboy Bebop franchise. Actually, on the topic of that kind of thing, I find that a breaking point in dubbing of late. Having listened to a lot of content in both language, the English seems to be mixed a lot lower. What do you mean by that? Mixed a lot lower? Yeah, he did Flamedramon. So when you heard Flamedramon, I mean, okay, so Derek Stephen Prince, I met him at a convention. But when he goes Flamedramon, the fire of courage, that's where I was like, I like this man's voice. I really love this man's voice. When I met Steve Bloom, I've met Steve Bloom twice now. Each time he was very kind and really supportive too, you know. That's one thing that, you know, you don't see a lot of voice actors do. Some voice actors you meet in person, or actors in general, they come off more negative and make it more about them than actually like teaching. There are several voice actors who I obviously have a respect for. Rob Paulson was definitely one of the most respected ones I've met ever. Oh wait, I didn't get a Blackboard Greymon this time. Whoops. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 4. Okay. So then we got. Give me 1 sec while I put these into my little chart. Again, I kind of like to do this chart thing to kind of figure out what cards are most common to hit. It's kind of a fun little scientific project for me. All right, that's it for that. There's always a honeymoon thing with a job in mind. Yeah, I agree. Some jobs you will find yourself literally like enjoying it the first couple of years. And then at some point, you just kind of fall out of it. I'm very lucky with my job right now in that, you know, it's a lot more comforting and it's more supportive of what I want to do. You know, it doesn't demand that I work like all these extra hours. Those are the ones that, you know, I used to work for. Companies like that.
And you're at home.
Yeah, right. The Blackboard, the background music, volume levels, and the bass, I think. I'm not an notice I've had to think about. I kind of agree with that to a certain extent. I think a lot more dubbing companies are hiring for cheaper, and because of that, you have people who don't do the same thing every time. So with different dubbings, it changes what you hear and how it's perceived. One thing I don't like about Netflix dubs, for example, is that, for one, I wish they would actually fix the closed captioning to match exactly what they're saying. That's one of the big things for me. Stop it. Steve Bloom had a world record for most character voices. Yes, he does. I think he does, actually. I think he still has that most number of records. And yes, these gold cards are rare. I have, on my second case, I have not found one yet. Have you seen the sub versus dub? Of course! Anime Crimes Division is amazing. I have mad respect for ProZD2. I love the guy. You know, the thing about my background is, in Chinese culture, there's an expectation for your child to be successful. And for parents, people like to say Chinese people have tiger controlling parents. They're very micromanaging, they want you to succeed, but they do it in your best interest. That's one of the big things. When I went to college, I had 2 options, 3 technically. And for me, it was a matter of, my parents really wanted me to be a doctor. So I wouldn't even be doing this right now if I were a doctor, for the fact that, number one, being a doctor requires you to be at the hospital. and you'd be there 24/7, basically. I know my sister works probably 60 hours a week, maybe. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how much she has to work. And for me, I didn't want to go that route. I wanted to have a little freedom in my life. So in the end, my parents gave me a choice. It was either engineering, be a lawyer, or med school. I went the engineering route because it's easier. Yeah, like Stephen Hayes did, exactly. There is a lot of emotional damage. Yeah, there's a lot of that. And yes, I can kind of do that voice too. Like, there's a lot of different variants of like Asian stereotypical voices that like you can kind of do them, but you do them for the fact that it helps put money on the table. That's pretty much it. I've listened to some comedians talk about like why they do like Asian related jokes. Wow, this literally devolved into a more serious conversation than I thought. I really need to get back to Digimon or something else at some point.
No, we like the real context.
Alex Martinez, hey, are you going to be here in LA? Yes, I will be going to LA. I'm actually commentating. I am co-commentating with the Eggman, Hayden Kostanen, and also Luis the Panda. It's going to be really fun. No, you're good. I normally don't stream this long. So for me, like, I've noticed that in the past, after I stream for probably like 2 hours, my feed will just randomly cut. That's the thing, and that's one thing that's fun about doing live streams. It's that you can talk about really anything. For me, voice acting was something that I'm very passionate about. I'm not as hardcore into it now for the fact that there's not enough time when you're doing content creation and then you're trying to probably also, you know, wanting to audition for roles and then get that recording out. It's hard. Favorite Digimon game would probably be the Digimon digital card battle. I loved that game because it literally embodied a lot of the card games that I loved playing. And the fact that it kind of had that Yu-Gi-Oh-esque feeling of like you are playing a monster and it comes to life through a hologram projection, and then you're like, whoa. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Because the thing is, one of my goals initially for this channel was to, you know, bring out a lot of content. And, you know, build my own little, you know, niche or community, you know, in the Digimon community. My focus is more on I want to get you the information as efficient as possible. I don't really want to, you know, do clickbaits, tier 1, stuff like that, because, you know, people want to win, I get it. But I also just want you to get the information instead of having you sit through a 20-minute, 30-minute video on a deck profile. And that's another reason why I script everything on the channel, because by scripting it, I can decisively craft my speech into a particular way where I communicate it. There's no
Rambling.
Huh?
Without rambling. Or
Yeah,
being
like
off topic.
yeah, like. But the thing is, like, that's how some people work, you know? They like to digress, they like to talk about other things. And I make that, like, a thing. Like, I know, like, my metrics to some other content creators wouldn't be that strong. Because you can hop on a video, you can snap a picture of the deck profile, and leave. Because you don't care about me talking. And that's fine. Because I came up with an idea. If you want to figure it out yourself how I did it, that's fine. I have the audio and my explanation for what I did because it helps you understand if you want to, you know, if you don't want to try to figure it out yourself. So it offers two pieces of the puzzle. On Michelle. Hey, Altar Galacti! Not a great box for this one. I think the Altar Galactic Mons are down to 20. Nikolai Petrov is, I think, 5 or 8 at this point. So, this is a neg box, but you know what? You can't have a great box in every box. That's the thing. So yeah. Hexa Black. So I've covered a lot of different topics today. You know, from voice acting, kind of the direction I went, because originally I was going to move to LA. I was going to audition and put myself really out there and kind of pick up a side hustle job to kind of pay for the bills while doing it. And I met my wife, and then I stayed in Kansas. So that's where like all that happened and why I'm still here. And eventually it grew into a, do I want to do like audiobooks, podcasts, stuff like this. If you covered this recently, all good, but maybe a series covering color identity and staples per color. I kind of wanted to do that, but at the same time, I think there are a lot of more other content creators who've already done that type of content that I don't want to oversaturate existing content too much. I would rather have it so that content that comes out is unique in some way, or one of the first ones that comes out. Wouldn't it be better to look at bottom four? Some foils are worth a lot. I'm just going through and looking at the last two because that's all I care about. Because at this point, you've all seen all these different cards. You've probably watched a lot of other box openings at this point. That there's no point. I agreed. In some ways, I feel like one thing that could be done is try to bring back up like old colors and kind of how they've evolved. The other thing is, sometimes I've talked about something on stream and then someone makes a video about it later that I'm like, I feel like they just did this to get content. Huh. Ah, well, whatever. Because there's always been the I made it first. Some creators have the mentality of I made it first, you should watch my video, ignore this person's video. It's a really weird mentality to have. And at the same time, I get it. But you also have to look at it realistically in some ways. Like, if I were to complain about a content creator who has like 30,000 subscribers, right? And they upload a video after me that is basically covering the same topic, but they get like 5,000 views in the first like day, and mine got like 200. It's kind of a, well, yeah, they have 30,000 subscribers. What do you? I know. I went on a tangent. Stop it. Here you go. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, you're welcome. Let's see. I might get that, but there are a ton which have rare slots or the highlights too. Yeah. Yep, I've been highlighting those RTE illusion. Right illusion? T illusion? Like that! Like that! See? See? This is like my 6th one! That's like probably the 6th grade of my X I've gotten. For me, I think that right now, red doesn't change too much. Raid is a very powerful effect, I agree. However, I do think that Raid gets infinitely better with BT12, and I think that would be where it warrants a more in-depth discussion. I mean, to be fair, Illusion, there's so many uncommons and commons that the chance of you pulling something that you want specifically, you'll need to open multiple boxes to get it. And we're opening a lot of boxes. Speaking of which, we are on the last box of the case after this pack. So, we've got Ignitemon. Amazing. Luckily, there's a pre-release for this one too, so if you want that rarity bump from just foil to pre-release, you got it. And that's it. So, let's go ahead and look. This will be one of our cheaper boxes, but you know what? Like I said, they can't all be winners. I mean, in my mind, this was winning right here. Because out of 26 boxes so far, I have accumulated 16 Blackboard Greymons. And my buddy I had a friend who opened 36 boxes and got 14. I've already passed him in Blackmore Greymons. I'm happy. I'm okay with that.
See, you're a winner.
Eric, if you're watching, I'm not trying to bash on you. Even though your name is American Bash. Love you! Okay. This one, and this one. Okay. Alright. See, while I've had years of card experience, I haven't played a physical TCG in a couple of years. Feeling out of the loop, I recently came across your videos and I've recommended them to friends. Oh, thank you, Rio. I appreciate it. And the thing is, you know, a lot of my Tactical Tuesdays come up when I'm playing with my wife. You know, she'll make a move or an action where I'm kind of like, that would be a good Tactical Tuesday to cover.
I knew it was your material.
But the thing is, like, my wife isn't like a competitive card game player. I played in Magic tournaments, I played in Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, and overall, like, you know, there's a huge change in, you know, what players think and do. So when that happens, it becomes a question of, you know, do other players make this particular action or mistake? And how can they improve? Because sometimes you're not even thinking about it, but if you think about it or like see it happen, then you're like, oh, that's what he was talking about. And again, I'm not trying to, like, you know, put anyone down. There's just certain elements of the game where I'm like, you should think about this, or you should do this, you know? This is for you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I got one super rare Blackmore Greymon, but oof. I mean, I'll take the 3 alt arts. The 3 alt arts are nice. I've been enjoying how they translate Digimon effects in the anime into the card game, like Digi-Cross or DNA Digivolve. That is one of the things that I really like too about the game. But one thing that I thought was kind of interesting was when you Digi-Cross, and it's different from DNA that you don't, it's not a new Digimon, that it can rush, if that makes sense. That was one thing I thought that was an interesting little side effect, where when you DNA Digivolve, you get to immediately attack, because it is considered a new Digimon. But crossing is also a new Digimon too. You're just combining pieces from it, so that's where I was kind of like, wait a minute. So why don't you get rush automatically with a cross? Solmon and Shoutmon. I don't think or play the same way as a competitive player, but that's the thing. Like, some people aren't sweaty and tryharding the whole time, but like if you get into a setting where like people are sweaty and tryhards, then it's a matter of, okay, what do I do that could be telegraphing something to them? And you don't want players to take advantage of you. That's one thing that I've seen players do that I'm like, why you gotta be a butt? Speaking of Digicross, Blue Flare is kind of awkward. It seems you want to cross into Metal Greymon, but Evo into Decorator. I mean, I wouldn't know. I haven't played Blue Flare. For me, there have been certain formats where, like, I haven't played the deck at all. I haven't played a Dark Knightmon deck because when we got BT10, everyone was like, I'm playing Crossheart. And then after Crossheart got the limit, everyone was so pissed that it seemed like Cross in general just died. May I ask if your wife has played trading card games before? She has not, actually. I was the first one that she kind of like did that with, because for her, she was more into board games. And I introduced to her kind of Digimon as like a TV show first.
I was seeing Sama as a kid, I just wasn't as passionate about it as like you became.
Yeah. For me, Digimon was like my gateway into not just anime, but kind of more like the creative elements of things. I loved drawing Digimon, coming up with them, thinking of like attacks. You know, there were a lot of Digimon that I would love for Bandai to actually make. And the more and more I talk about it, the more I want to create a series called it would either be a Friday upload, which would basically be fan art Fridays. It'd be basically creating a Digimon, drawing it, sketching it, and then just talking about it. That's the thing. There's a lot of those.
You also know the subscribers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
I
saw
saw
that.
Thank you, Daniela Digimon, for the subscribe. Appreciate it, and welcome to the community. Let's see. What you find to equip deity of love is an admirable act regardless. Also, despite my complaints, I just looked 2 more black. Nice. Nice. I can kind of explain some of the things about Blue Flare. Oh, I mean, you can. Like, I've seen some of the effects go off. I know what they do, but I also am kind of like... How are you busted in comparison to, like, the other Greymon decks? My significant other loves trading card games, but basically got into Digimon and Digimon in general because of me. Those are the keepers. Those are the keepers. I have the number of local players to me who are like, how'd you get your wife to play Digimon? Is where I'm like,
bribe me with boba.
I mean, I bribe her with many things, but at the same time, like, it works. You know how Crossart gets to play Cross 4 for 1 with memory? Because Blue Flare has significantly less material monsters. Metal Greymon can at most reduce its play cost to 3, then gets your Metal and your Greymon into it, but Decker Greymon Digicrosses Metal and Decker. I don't like... The Decker Greymon's weird to me. I looked at it and I'm like, I need Metal Greymon and Decker for this? It seems like a bad play. Akiho Rindo. Looks like we're going to be ending on some weak bucks. But it's all good. If you cross those 2 materials, Decker won't get all the inheritables in the... What? What? That's silly. Why would you ever cross that? Arrow? And... Oh, boy. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Back-to-back Altar Tamers. But that's the thing. One thing I hate about this entire set is the fact that you lose your secret. Like, you have a much higher chance of losing your secrets. Let me look real quick. I think that's my 5th Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright. Come on, Tane! No, it's Wanya. I've pulled so many Wanyas, but these are actually not bad. I mean, luckily... Oh, it's a common. Never mind. So yeah, this is the highest rarity of Wanyamon, which is used in a lot of blue decks moving forward. How many arenas do I have? According to my spreadsheet right now, I have 4 arenas that are regular art, and I think I have 3 that are alt art. Okay. I love the Wanya. The Wanya Wanyas can be used in Blue Flare, but they are really good in like Blue Hybrid and also Ulforce. You guys have any been enjoying the stream? Just getting into the trading card game now. Binged a lot of info for the game in between EX2 and BT9, then fell out with it. Starting to get back into it though. That's fine, eh? I mean, eh? Eh. You guys have any advice for joining into locals? Pretty shy about that kind of thing. I'd say, if you don't want to necessarily play, like if playing is something that you don't want to play right now with too many players, because you feel shy about like, you know, introducing yourself or talking, you know, it's not bad to, you know, go into the local shop and get to know like the store owners and the managers, because talking to them can kind of be like dipping your feet into like the game and kind of how they sell stuff too, because they also kind of know the players locally, who's bad and who's good. Even locally, like I keep up with a lot of the managers and owners, because getting to know them also helps me figure out who is not a really good representative of the community. Venmon? Akiho Rindo. You know, I have a friend trying to collect 50 of these. It'll be funny, because I probably have a bunch of them too. When going to locals, don't sweat bringing something super competitive. Met the people at least once. I went to my locals recently. No problem. No problem. And welcome. Tyranno? GG! How to save a box. We need a Blackboard Greymon and a Mirai. I'm just kidding. Knowing my luck, I'm gonna get Bagra and Minerva. Or Merva, I'm sorry. Minerva was in BT10. We got Chew. We got Hades. I would say some communities can be very try-hard or point you in the direction that, you know, isn't necessarily appropriate. And what I mean by that is, I've been in the situation before where, you know, you hop into a new game and people are like, oh, you got to invest in this right now. You need to spend $300 and build this deck. And it's like, don't listen to that. Like, those are the worst kinds of players, in my opinion, because for me, even, you know, I like to give players, new players in particular, like, better deals. Kind of showing them, like, hey, this is kind of, like, what I do for new players. If you're interested, I can kind of, you know, show you how this is done. And, you know, but you don't want to push people to, like, buy stuff either. That's always the one where I don't like people who push to sell you something. They're like, oh, this is really good. And it's like, stop it. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Left a really sour taste for me. Because, you know, at one point I was the guy who had 3 tour guides in his trade binder. And everybody was like, that card is garbage. Like, no one wants it. It's not good. And then after Bandai, you know, reneged on their rules for like some of the cards, then everybody wanted it from me. But by that point, I had already like traded them and literally negged on that like purchase or trade. So wasn't great and was kind of salt. Because players who take advantage of newer players or even younger players, kids, those are the kinds of people I don't like. Hey, Gustavo, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. I frequently offer pushback in the 2020 Discord when someone recommends the Mastermind Starter deck because, like, half the advice anyone is going to give them is to go second. And that's expensive. New players shouldn't be suggested price of deck. I agree. The problem now is if you think about, like, what deck is the cheapest in general. What did I say? Bagramon. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a Mervamon. The thing about starter decks right now is the red, blue, yellow, green, black, purple starter decks that were originally available in the very beginning of the game, I don't think they're great tools in terms of like teaching players how to play because they're also expensive at this point. Now, if you were to ask me my honest opinion what deck is the best for a person to play, my honest opinion is not Jesmon. I know you just said that, Illusion, but I don't think Jesmon is a good like starter for players to build. And the reason why I say that is because you'll have lots of other players saying you need Jesmon GX to make it work. It's only one of few variants. You could play the Jesmon variant, but the other issue is you need Huckmons, and Huckmons are also inherently expensive. So then the question you might be wondering is, okay, so what are good starters then? Ulforce is pretty good for the fact that, you know, it has a lot of... It even comes with a memory boost. That's the best part about it. Boom. I called it. I called it. Let's go. Let's go. It was Merva and it was Bagra. I knew it. I'd say either Gallant, Ulforce Generation decks or the Imperial Dramon despite the price of Davis's. Gallantmon is arguably one of the cheapest decks. And I don't... If you do play the Crimson mode, that's where it gets expensive. So regardless, there's always going to be a secret rare. Now, with the Beelzemon starter deck coming out, I think that could also be a good contender for players to start as well. And that's how the case ends. So, yeah, that was pretty much it. Go here, 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 and go. I think that's all right. Yep. Gallant is probably the easiest to upgrade. I just don't know if it's the one you'd want to do for the fact that if you want to play the Crimson mode with it, that's where it gets expensive. Hey, babe, you want to open another case for me?
Yeah, sure.
I'll just start. Okay, take your time. We'll do...
Which box do you want?
Don't matter. They're from the same person. Yep. That'll work. Full force. GG. Merva Bakra. Rust. Rust, Gazi, Hidden, and Zephyr. And then Alt Art Akiho Rindo and Yuya Kuka. Cool. Thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
I'll do another 15 minutes and then we'll stop the stream around 8 p.m. Just to make it a clean. Let's see. I built Gallimon X antibody deck for a little bit. Brother, he didn't win a lot, but when he got stomped by the guy with an app. Stomped by the guy. Absolutely kitted out. Gallimon learned a lot because the opponent players were understanding what doing. Jessamon was the first Digimon deck I made. My first deck was Metal Greymon. I built Jessamon and came back to the game in BT11. The problem is, it depends on when, like, you come into the game. Because, for example, Jessamon recently skyrocketed in price because of BT13. So because of BT13, that was the issue that started, you know, certain cards just jumping up in price again. And because of that, it's the price point now that when people ask which starter deck do you recommend, it changes. Because if you're going for, like, cost efficiency, then it's kind of a, okay, what kind of style do you want to play? Honestly, if I could have it any way I wanted it, D-Brigade is a very, like, easy deck to play. D-Brigade is also relatively cheap, and, you know, there aren't a lot of cards in there that are actually that expensive, to my knowledge. Because, like, your Izzy Azumis are cheap, your Kazus are cheap. If you say BT4, you know, Commandermon is expensive, then it's kind of like, well, we just got an alt reprint for it, basically, in the campaign rares. So now you have a cheaper source that is a higher rarity. That's what kind of makes it nice. If that makes sense. If you want true cheapness, hybrid lists are actually also pretty good too. And with the fact that you can now build, like, green hybrid for cheap, it's even easier. Other lists that I would recommend for, like, starter players, the problem is if they are hardcore Digimon fans, they want to play Digimon. They don't really care about playing non-Digimon things. But if they are players who are like, I just want to, like, win. Well, back in the format where Mother D Reaper was, you know, the competitive deck, it still could be competitive. It just depends on what format you're in. I agree, Sakuyamon to a certain degree. I think the issue for me with Sakuyamon is that your Sakuyamon from EX2, I actually don't know how much it is right now. Let me check real quick. I think that's an interesting topic, because I want to bring that up. So Sakuyamon from EX2 is currently about $3. So still you're going to be paying about $12 to play a deck. The thing is, you don't want to play waifu tax, because if you want the alt arts, why is Sakuyamon maid mode still $47 or 40 in the upper 40s is the thing. Because when you ask yourself, why is a deck not even competitively played, but it is literally still expensive? The answer is always going to be waifu tax. Because even with, like, all these Mireis and Lady Devimons and Angelmons, someone's always going to, you know, want these cards. And it's not for the fact that it's good, necessarily. It's because it's fan service. Machine Dramon is another very popular deck. It doesn't have waifu tax, but it does have, like, cool tax on it. Oh, have you been wanting Marsmon? Nope. Nope. Nico Brando, no gold. No gold. And we just opened up, we cracked open another case, just for the fun of it. I'll probably go for another box. Maybe 2. And then that'll be it. Our market is very weird. I will agree that our market is very weird. I was talking to a friend the other day because I asked him the question, why is Guilmon pre-release X so expensive? Considering Guilmon is not played right now at all. There's no competitive Gallantmon deck, but the cheapest I can get a Guilmon X antibody on TCG player is currently $30. Why? No one plays it, and I've never seen it go lower. So for me, I'm like, why? Alright, DG Dimension, Phoenixmon. Guilmon X? If so, hook me up. Chill! You're United States, right? Well, I'm gonna have to ask my European friends to hook me up with that delicious Guilmon X, because I did see one on eBay that was coming from the UK for like, I think it was like $18, but the shipping was like $15. Galmon? Hey, another Merva! Let's go! Recently, or well, since Digimon Survive's release, got back into collecting Digimon cards from the Digimon TCG. I lost most of my older generation Digimon cards to a house robbery when I was in prime. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I will tell you right now, the old Digimon Digi-Battle card game was a very loosely workable game. And my friends and I played a game the other day, and we literally went a solid hour for one game. It was probably one of the longest moments of my life where I'm like, hello? Can we do something? And he was like, I am. And I'm like, yes. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. You literally negate all my cards and effects. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, how do I win? And I had to literally tie him in strength. Otherwise, the game would end in a draw. Your maid modes are only 25. I need. What's the conversion? I need to know the conversion here. Boy, your Sakuyamons are so cheap. Yeah, we get waifu tax here in the States. I mean, it's a problem. It definitely was a problem. So in older Digimon card games, they had ways for you to prevent your card effects from being activated. To be fair, I play a Impmon deck that literally can do that too. We have waifu tax here, but the like, what is the waifu tax in Germany? A statue? Agu X, Aerovidramon. Lady Devimon, Eosmon. Oh God. Beelstar is definitely a waifu still here in the States. I know some players are trying Merva Beel. It's a really interesting deck concept. I've looked into it, and I don't know how I feel about it, but that's besides the point. And we get Mirage. King Sukamon. Hey, Dark Fiddler, welcome to the stream. Taiki Kirihanene. Yo, let's go. Let's go. Oh yeah, this will be the box we end on. This is a much better box to end on. There you go. Hey Tarek, welcome to the stream. The exhibition? Are you talking about the fan meetup in LA? The Mave, welcome as well. One thing I wanted to humor Hayden and Luis on was, you know, the idea of, you know, while we're commentating, I just switch roles constantly. I go from like a serious announcer to, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Digimon Trading Card Game Nationals Tournament, featuring... Hey, Amire too. You know, this is a perfect box. But there were also elements of like, I'm sure a lot of you have seen Avatar, Legend of Korra. There's an announcer guy during the pro bending where there's a guy who's like, and there he goes. I thought it would be entertaining if I was like, and there he raises. That Koromon Digivolves into Agumon. Agumon takes a left hook. And, oh, he swings into this. And he gets deleted. That's the end of Agumon. Buster Dive and Tyrannomon. So no gold. That'll be it for this stream. I appreciate everyone again, you know, joining me for tonight's stream. Happy Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Rest up because next week is the time for Nationals. Basically, yeah. No problem. Thank you everyone again for joining. I hope to see all of you at Nationals if you are going. If you aren't going, I wish you all luck on all your polls coming up. And with that, guys, as always, thank you. This is DIGI-PANDA.